Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast. This is the Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast.
G'day guys, welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. Again here at Consensus Week, another amazing guest with Michael from Lightstreams. That's what I like use.
Yes.
G'day guys, welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. Again, another amazing guest here at New York Consensus Week. I've got Michael from Lightstreams. Thank you very much for being on the show, Michael. I want to tell the guys and girls at home all about what you're doing and what your project is.
Yeah, cool. I'm Michael Smolenski, CEO and founder of Lightstreams. So Lightstreams is a blockchain protocol. So we're the underlying layer where decentralized applications can be built on top of our protocol.
All right, so you're basically the ecosystem that others will plug into, much like an Ethereum type setup, whereby
Correct.
Other projects can put on top of. Now, in this space, there are many in this space. Obviously, as you know, you're in it. What are your major hurdles at the moment, and are you able to overcome them quickly, or is it a really long, drawn-out process? Because effectively, what you're doing is quite complicated.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we've been building this for the last year. We won an award in a hackathon, actually at Consensus last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we've already been through a lot of hurdles already to get this far. So my background is as a software engineer, building blockchain projects, like real ones, actually some high-profile ones. And so the Lightstreams technology has actually come out of that work.
Right.
We've got a lot of hurdles still to go. We have the basic protocol, but there's a lot of features that we still want to build. And I mean, people can check out our roadmap and see those features.
So you are not somebody who's brand new to trying this. You've created this for other companies, other areas you've worked in within not just the technology space, because I heard you mention before that you'd worked in Sydney, London, you've been with in banking with Goldman Sachs, and tech. You've been quite. Actually, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you've come to here? Because it's quite a fascinating space that we're in, but it's also fascinating the story as to how one came into this space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I go way back. I'm an electrical engineer from New Zealand, and I went to London like most Aussies and Kiwis, and got involved in the dot-com bubble time, and worked in the financial services industry, went to Australia, worked at Commonwealth Bank, Goldman Sachs. I left my comfortable job in 2014 and got involved in the startup scene. I could see Bitcoin really taking off and peer-to-peer lending, and just felt that I had a lot to offer. So that's really led me up to now, 2018. And I've entered a few competitions and won awards for some concepts, but the technology just hasn't been there in my view. And so what we've done is built some things that actually I wanted for my own projects. So that's really what Lightstreams is just about good engineering of some components put together to give the kind of flavor and capabilities that projects need.
Well, it's quite apt because you look at what Richard Branson says as an example. You only have to be 1 or 2% better than the next guy to be the best. And what you've done in terms of your past experience has sort of positioned you really, really well for this space. How's it all going at the moment? I know you've been working on this project for a year, and you're looking to raise at the moment, or very, very soon. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. We've just put out our latest white paper. This last week, actually, we've just had amazing feedback from the community, and we've had thousands of people join our Telegram group, so we're getting a lot of great feedback. And so right now we're doing a private round, and we're just speaking to a few strategic projects and other people that want to do partnerships, and letting them come in, and then we're doing the actual token creation event in Q3, and that's actually when we launch the actual network.
Okay, so launching the network. For a lot of these people that are listening and watching this show, I'm not a tech person, they know that, I've told you that I'm an investor, I'm a trader, I'm somebody who tries to make sense of what can be somewhat a complicated environment.
Yeah.
When you say launch, I want to know what you mean, and please explain to our viewers and listeners, when you say launch, what can we expect from a launch of Lightstreams?
Yeah, okay, so we've already got the technology built. We've already got a test net up, so test network.
So it's functioning?
Yeah. So it actually launched the mainnet, that they call it, which is the blockchain itself.
Yep.
We need to deploy this on a number of nodes, a number of computers, and get it running. But this needs to actually be very secure, and we need to do penetration testing. A whole lot of testing needs to go on.
Try and break it first,
right?
Yeah,
because it is a financial system. I used to work in banks, so this needs to be very secure because we're dealing with people's money. So we're taking our time to make sure that's right. But a launch of the network is actually when it comes live, and then people can have their own wallets and they can do exactly what you do today with Ethereum. You can transfer amounts between people, but then you get the extra features that we've built as well. And then developers can build their own applications using these features.
So Q3 is not that far away. I know it's a long way out in the space of crypto, absolutely. Things move so damn quick. But, here's the big but. You're obviously speaking with people who are probably looking at being interested in working on top of your platform.
Yeah.
From what you've gathered thus far, who are the players? What are the industries that you think are going to be using the platform the most? Because you talk about, obviously we do have platforms that we can build upon right now. That these ecosystems, they do exist.
Yeah.
What, with your little tweaks and changes that you were saying, bettering the by 1 or 2%, what is it favouring more so? Is there any particular industry that you think is going to benefit from this?
Yeah, I guess one of the key things that we bring to the table is something that I had a problem with my own projects, and that is around privacy. So with the blockchain technology at the moment, anything you put on blockchain is totally public. Everyone can access it. And so it makes it really difficult to build real world applications. So you can't have your competitors' information on there. So what we bring to the table is a way of controlling privacy through what's called, giving people consent, so confidentiality. So to explain, you could imagine, the classic one is like health records. So you have your own personal health record, you go see your physician, you give them permission, you give them consent to access that information.
Yes.
And then they say, well, I have to refer you to a specialist, and then you go, okay, I'm going to give you, that physician or that specialist consent to have access to this information as well. And that's all recorded on the blockchain, so it's completely traceable about when and who and how you gave consent to. But that particular data is only shared amongst those three participants. You can go further than that as well. You can actually go, when you think wider in terms of music, for example, that an artist, they can publish some music
that makes sense.
Onto our system. And then people get access, they give consent, I guess, to have access to that information when people pay a price.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's giving consent to like a global audience, I guess, to have access to their music. So it's about peer-to-peer behavior of sharing and giving authorization to data.
Okay, now this is the flip side to crypto, of course. I interview a lot of people on the show, as I said to you before. I've had a doctor on the show just a couple of days ago. She was amazing out of Saudi Arabia, of all places, and putting medical records onto the blockchain, as very similar to what you were saying. I've had traders, I've had investors, I've had all sorts of different walks of life. Now we tend to see a mixing of two minds. One is the let's make the world a better place point of view, and the other is the capitalist point of view. Now, as far as cryptocurrency, because that's just one area of crypto assets and the blockchain, where do you sit in there? Are you doing this purely, and look, I don't mind either way, we've all got our place, right? We can all live our own way and just don't step on anyone's toes as we go. If we just want to make money, do it without hurting anybody. If we want to save the world, do it with helping everybody. And if you want to combine the two, that's amazing as well. This project to you seem pretty passionate about it. Obviously, it is your baby, but I'm also passionate about businesses that I've got too.
Sure.
Is this something that is purely from a business point of view, or are you looking to see change? And if so, how will this actually look to change the rest of the way the world works?
It's a really good
Tough question.
Yeah,
right? It's a big one.
It's actually a really good question about blockchain in itself. And
the community, right?
Yeah, and actually I sit down with bears and have a beer with some technical colleagues, and we talk about this, about where is blockchain going. Blockchain is actually, as I see it, like a road that connects different companies and projects together. And what I'm really passionate about is the decentralization aspect that blockchain technology brings. So that's empowering the consumer to connect with each other, that they don't need intermediaries that are basically harvesting their data, clipping the ticket, taking a fee on the way through, all these different things. So, and for example, one story, I said to my girlfriend, we live in Spain and we live in this building complex, and basically no one in this apartment knows or can talk to each other, and they're always complaining the building manager is never around. And something really simple is why can't the community talk directly to each other? And then you have the economics around that as well. But this is really, I think, where blockchain technology is going, is about empowering societies to really come together and talk together and transact together, rather than going through a Google or whatever intermediary.
Someone that holds our data and transfers
and controls that. Exactly.
Yeah, I think I've spoken to a lot of people about that. The privacy aspect is definitely a huge area of that. What I really enjoy about this industry is it's so collaborative. I mean, I've worked in London too. I did the same thing as you. Most Aussies and Kiwis and Antipodeans do. It's kind of like a rite of passage.
Exactly.
I haven't lived in Spain. I've visited it many times.
And the Brits say, "What are you doing here?" Because we want to go there.
Exactly. But look, I mean, what I love is the collaborative nature of this industry. It seems that, and it will change. It will definitely change. But at these early days, what we're seeing a lot of is a lot of helping each other.
That's correct.
I don't see walls thrown up very often of, no, you go away. Even if they're competitors, they do tend to talk together because we are a society, we're trying to make things better, we're trying to change the way things are doing, and there's a real sense of community, as in, look, we don't need to give the powers that be the powers that they have. We can bring that power back and share within each other, making life easier, better, safer, more transparent, and trustless.
Yeah.
I think that the vibe out there, I know it's getting all very hippie on that, I'm the best bald-headed hippie you've ever met, but that whole feeling of, we really are making a change. I love that so much about the community. Now, you've been working with a lot of, obviously, very intelligent people on the tech side of things because what you're doing is very complicated. Are you finding that it's very much the same, that people really want to come together and work together for something that is bigger than just a business?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, some of these things are not businesses in their own right. I mean, they're protocols, so it's really about a public good in a way.
That's true.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, the industry is built on open source software primarily.
Yeah.
And that's totally different from the way that we've been doing business in the last 20 years with the internet revolution. And a lot of people come to us and say to us, okay, so who are your competitors? I mean, we don't really see any competitors because the technology at this stage is all very new, and a lot of people are going down different paths, which is fine. And we've gone down one path, but we may not be going down the right path. So we look to others and say, well, how are you doing there? We've got some great advisors from other projects, and they help us out. And then if we're doing something good, they look over the fence and go, well, that's pretty cool. Can we use some of that? And actually, the Lightstreams technology is engineered by a mixture of other technology from other projects.
Wow.
So it's all just about good engineering. And hopefully the projects that build upon our protocol can see that we've chosen the right mix of engineering that provides the technology, the platform that they really need to do what they want to do.
It sounds like that Lightstreams totally encompasses everything that we love about the space, the community spirit, the collaborative efforts, and the not being scared. I also love what you said about you don't feel there's any competitors. I feel the same. I'm not worried about what this guy's doing or that girl's doing. I'm doing my thing, and my job is to be as best as I can for what I do. And if we focus on going forward as opposed to what everyone else is doing, we can create something truly great. We stop wasting energy on the peripheral.
Yeah.
Look, I ask every single guest this question. You were through the .com, you talked about that. I think you were in London at the time, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you saw the rise of the internet, and we do compare the internet and blockchain because of the massive rise in technology. We are seeing that now with a big drain of brains from Silicon Valley into blockchain, which is great. The question I want to ask you, that I ask everybody, is are we in 1993 or in the year 2000 as far as blockchain and the technology and adoption at the moment?
It's hard to say because 12 months ago is completely different than
wasn't it?
Than now. Some people say, can this last? I personally, from the technology side, there's still so much more that needs to be done. I think it's about public adoption as well, because we've got like a lot of people connected to the crypto space. They're all geeks, and you got the traders and all that, but I think there's still not enough public awareness and adoption. So in terms of the wave, actually, I think that hasn't even started.
No.
So we saw in 2000 that people started using the internet, and you got that wave. So I don't think we're there yet, like in 2000. But who knows? I mean,
you've got to give me a year. You've got to give me a year. Is it 93, 96, 95? Where are we?
Okay. Probably like 95.
95.
Yeah, I remember actually, hopefully I make the story short, but I remember I was young, I was a teenager, and my dad, we had a computer, and my uncle came, and he's a chef, and my dad said, show your uncle how great the internet is. And so I went on to searching, and he's into cooking, so I Googled something. Well, actually, it wasn't Google at the time.
No, it wasn't.
And basically it was so slow, it went bring it, and then it bring back all these searches, nothing related to like his bakery. And then they basically got bored straight away and walked away. And this is pretty much what crypto world's like at the moment.
Yeah.
If you try to do some things with it, it's really slow, it's not user friendly and things like that. And we will get there. So that's why I think it's like 1995.
Well, I couldn't agree more. And you know what? Just about everybody's been 93 to 95. Everybody.
Okay.
I've interviewed a lot of
That's
different
good.
people from different areas, so everyone's on the same vein. That's the whole point of the scoring system. Now, if they want to find more about the project, what you're doing, and where to find you, where do the viewers and listeners find more about yourself and the project?
I mean, just go to our website, which is lightstreams.network. And we've got like a great white paper there that they can read. We've got some videos of the demo. And then obviously it'll lead you there to our Telegram group if you want to speak directly to us.
Yeah, sure.
We're really open with trying to answer as many questions and try to help the community and understand what we're doing.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time. Wish you all the best of luck for your Q3 launch. I wish it all well, and I hope you achieve all the goals you set out to achieve, mate. I look forward to seeing your progress going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast. Check out tradercobb.com because experience matters.